Well, hello again, it's Karen with the Pokey Dragon, and today I just kind of wanted to do a skull and flowers kind of drawing. So I already sketched these out on a piece of paper. It's just a kind of relatively inexpensive sketchbook, Strathmore fine tooth. The sun is kind of fading in and out, so I apologize if the lighting is kind of weird. I did try to get a new setup that has an actual light so that there's no those weird shadows that were in the last video. I'm still kind of learning, still really new at this. This is only my second try, so bear with me. Also, I'm trying to record and talk at the same time. Okay, so, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I think this is kind of wiggly. I gotta be really careful. I apologize if I'm making you sick right now. I'm trying to be really careful not to wiggle as I wiggle, 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 wiggle. Ham sandwich. So I already did these kind of sketches. Basically, I just wanted to do a skull with some flowers, more of the poisonous variety. So I kind of started out with just this one without the bleeding hearts on top, and I thought it was a little too bottom heavy, so I started kind of sketching in some more. I did some research. Deadly nightshade, oleander, bleeding hearts, foxglove, water hemlock, and I thought this one was a little too busy, so I cut out some of the ones that I didn't really want to draw, honestly, all the little teeny tiny flowers that are on a hemlock. So I went with a simplified version. I had already drawn this one, so I kind of threw that in and then redrew it because I liked the oleanders up in the eye and the nightshades down in the corner, but it still looked a little too blasé. So I finally decided on this one, kind of vampire skull looking, with the deadly nightshades with its leaves, the oleander with its leaves, and the bleeding hearts with a little sprout of its leaves. So I think this one is pretty well balanced, so this is the one I'm going to go with. So back to my trusty, just Canson watercolor paper, 140 pound, cold press. So I'm going to start off with the skull first. I have a reference photo off in the background, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. The thing I like about doing fantasy creatures is, you know what they look like, but they don't look in. So you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it look perfectly like a skull. A skull, you expect it to look a certain way. But then if you throw in a fantasy element, you can just be like, well, they're not human. And people go, true. Still looks weird. And then you're like, fight me. And you get into a big fight. And you bite them because you're a vampire. Oh no, plot twist. Not really. Don't fight people. Just say fight me, and then you guys laugh about it, and then you move on with your lives. Do you think vampires would have a bigger hole in their face for their nose? Because so they can scent out us mortals and release us from this mortal coil. Spooky. Skull eyes look weird. They almost look sad. I mean, I guess there are, you know, dead. So I guess there's something to be sad about. Kind of look like sunglasses. Fine, I'll get rid of the glasses. So, I don't want the skull to look so sad. So that's kind of how the eye shape is a little bit. I think I'm gonna make them more... I just kind of drifted off there, thinking, forgetting that I'm talking to you. I think we're going to make them more... Now I'm genuinely drifting off because I'm not really sure the word I'm looking for. Sinister? Predatory, maybe, is the word I'm looking for. Sinister will work. The temple bone actually kind of comes in, surrounds the eye socket, and you can't see it from this angle, but there's a hole where the ear is. Kind of forgot about that when I originally drew it. This isn't a solid piece. The cheekbone and the temple from the side, the eye socket, and here it kind of tapers in, but then it breaks loose here, and then it goes back into the skull. So this is the cheekbone. So there's a hole, and I'm trying to see it in the picture. It is not very clear to me. So we're just gonna kind of do that. Kind of do this. Leave that, and then pull this in like that. And my computer just fell asleep. Oh, I'm focusing on this part. Of course it goes to sleep now. Lace eye. So I looked at it it forced me to get up and look closer at the picture. So this is kind of pretty close. This bone kind of juts out a little bit more, and I might exaggerate it too, just because it's a vampire. So let's just kind of exaggerate this bone coming out. This spot where there was kneaded eraser is really gross. It's really upsetting me. Oh, there's 2 spots. That's even worse. This vampire doesn't need weapons. His cheekbones will slay for days. Now I'll go in with my trusty Faber Castell PITT Artist Pen, India ink, waterproof, small. I'm a dummy. I forgot to draw the stupid flowers. Well, I got this one little line done. Feel confident about that line. All right, let's get these flowers. I'm glad I started over there. Not here, because that would have been bad, or here, because that would have been bad. So I want one flower kind of off-centered here. This is frustrating. Am I done yet? Can I time-lapse real life? Because holy butt nuggets. I want this flower out. I kind of want it off-center, so here, 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 here. Just pick a place. That seems good. It has a little nib. I forget what the inner parts of the flowers are called. Stamens? The deadly nightshade. I always forget potatoes are a nightshade. Apparently the green part of the potato chip can kill you if you eat, you know, a couple 100 pounds of it. Which I'm pretty sure you would die from just so many potato chips first. Not to be confused with the woody nightshade, which is actually that really pretty flower, which is what I was thinking of originally. Unfortunately, that is not the deadly nightshade, which is what I wanted, so I thought about doing the really pretty woody nightshade anyway, because I guess technically it is poisonous. It's just not as crazy poisonous as the deadly nightshade. But I didn't want people to go, oh, that's not a poisonous version of the nightshade. Bah, 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 bah. I hear you. Alternate universe where I did what I wanted to do rather than what was the actual flower. I hear you. It's not as pretty. I may make it more purple when I actually do the coloring part, painting. It kind of looks like a ghost. Oh my gosh. It's ghost because it's deadly. Ha! Ah! Nature, you crazy. Man, these deadly nightshades are killing me. These are the bleeding hearts. They're not deadly, I don't think. They're still technically poisonous, which a lot of plants are. They'll just make you sick. They give you explosive diarrhea. Okay, maybe not. That would be upsetting. Maybe they make your heart bleed. I guess that would be deadly. Yeah, no, that would be bad. I need a Band-Aid. My heart is bleeding. Okay, so I'm back. I just got closer to my reference material so I could kind of see what was going on with the flowers. Fixed the bleeding hearts, fixed the oleander and the nightshade. So now we'll start on the actual inking this time, now that everything's actually on the paper. So here we go with that. I went in and erased all of the pencil lines because that was very shaky. But here it is, the final kind of pen drawing. I went back in and closer so that I could see some of maybe the gaps and stuff that I missed, and cleaned it up and made it a little bit darker. But yeah, my eyes ain't so good. I have to get close in sometimes. But there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I'll do the inking as a second part. This video is probably going to be very long by the time I get it down. So if you like it, hit that like button. Subscribe so you can see the next step. Comment down below. Give me some feedback on what I could do different, if you like it, if you don't like it, why you don't like it. Don't just be mean. That'd be super swell. I know this is the internet and all, but you know, come on, give me a break. I'm new to this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.